Yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AEW Dynamite Sidecast here on the Mike the Ref Twitch channel. I really need to get that intro changed up here. I hope to have it done for next week. But hey, everybody, good to see you here today. It is going to be a fun night here for AEW Dynamite. We got both semifinals for the AEW Continental Classic. We got a triple threat between Swerve, Strickland, Jay White, Jon Moxley. We got Brian Danielson versus Eddie Kingston. And then we got MJF and Samoa Joe defending the ROH Tag Team Championships against the Devil's Minions. I don't know whatever way you want to put it. Then we also got Skye Blue trying to take out Kris Statlander. And we will see how that goes tonight. And then, got a few interviews going on here with, especially Adam Copeland and Christian. Good luck for Lexi Nair trying to moderate that one. And then Renee's going to be chatting with Mariah May ahead of Saturday and World's End, which, just a reminder, folks, for World's End, we will be doing a sidecast here on the channel. Reminds me, I got to buy the pay-per-view. I haven't done that yet. It's been a little crazy couple days. Good to see everybody once again. Like I said, we're ending out AEW with a real solid set here. With I guarantee you that triple threat and the Danielson Kingston match. Danielson's going to give Kingston the rub of his life tonight. Yes, I know all the jokes that could be involved by saying that, but I got a feeling that that's going to happen tonight. If you're asking my early predictions, I think we're going to get what we said we were going to get right from the start. Moxley versus Kingston. It's the first story we came up with, and it's probably going to be the last story we're going to use here. So, it's going to be a fun... Either way, I don't care who you get out of those 5 people that are left. You're going to get a fun match regardless here. So, it's going to be a very interesting setup. I think they found a way as well, to make wrestling fun right around Christmas here. Because let's face it, usually around this time of year, when you're talking about wrestling in general, it's usually pretty quiet. Like hell, I think only NXT ran for WWE this week because it's a best of on Friday for SmackDown. And it was a best of on Raw on Monday. So, yeah, we got successful live wrestling here all the way through. Or semi-live for the most part. I think they might have done a double taping. When they were in Montreal, that's when they did the extra taping. On the Thursday in lieu of the Saturdays. Or Tuesday for the Saturday, sorry. But yeah, I hope everybody's Christmas went well, or their holidays, or their Monday off, if you had Monday off. I know some people did have to work. I ended up having to go run in for we had a robbery at one of our stores that morning, so don't need to get to too many details about it, but they got away with some stuff. And it wasn't pretty how they did it, and the alarm company was about as useful as Tony Khan booking the women's division lately. I hate the fact that I hit the rim shot, and it unfortunately is true in many respects. I'll give Tony credit. What he is booking is starting to become effective. But it's like everything else. You just want more of it, right? So, I really do hope that we do get more out of the women's division coming out of 2024. And I think that's something we could talk about a lot when we're chatting up on Saturday during the pay-per-view. Because let's face it, we got 5 hours of wrestling to go through here, so. And I don't even know if we're going to... Knowing Tony Khan, he's probably going to get all 5 hours in. But looking at the way the card is right now, we might not have a full 5-hour card. Unless he skips a few 0-hour matches or adds some ROH talent to it. We will see what happens here. But I don't see a whole lot going on with the ROH brand in this case, or basically anything on 0 Hour. I get it. Final Battle was an absolutely excellent show. But you also have to look back and say, you had a great show. Now let's see what you can do carrying forward out of it. Because I don't know if they're going to have... I don't think they got a Ring of Honor taping this week. At least I don't think so in that case. I got to get my channel changed over. I was watching the Raptors and the Wizards. Yes, I know that's like, the top end of basketball there. But hey, you know what? The Raptors are the team we get to see every game of. Even though they had to fight over 2 networks to get them ball. But yeah, it's entering a very fun time of year right now. We just had the... even if you go look over at the WWE side, you had CM Punk getting his debut match against Dominic Mysterio and MSG, and I think it's smart. I think it's very smart to have your debut shows on live events rather than on TV. Because the more you can milk out the live shows right now with CM Punk, if people that don't watch AEW don't know what kind of shape he's in and what kind of a lot of this brawl out garbage, they won't even know anything about it. They're just fans of WWE and they just come to see whoever, and then they hear CM Punk from 2011's back. So you got LA and you got New York this week. New York apparently has done the biggest gross for MSG on a holiday show ever, which kudos to them. I'm glad they got it. I'm sure Dom and Punk was a decent match. I haven't watched it, not going to watch it. Mainly because, I don't like to be spoiled the way that they like to not spoil us on TV here. So if they really wanted us to see the match, they would have. But I'm glad that they're not actually angry about the pirated videos of the fans showing it. It looks like, and it's one thing that WWE's really started to tie it into right now, is the fact they're using social media as a source right now to promote feuds. Something that AEW, I think, was the originator of, especially with Being the Elite. As Being the Elite was on, you had them telling stories through the show going into Dynamites, which, granted, if you weren't a big fan of the Bucks and you weren't watching a lot of that stuff, it got you a little confused about what was going on storyline-wise. The wrestling was still great. Let's not even kid ourselves. The wrestling is great on AEW, regardless. It's hard to find a very bad match on an AEW show. I think we can pretty much say that's a definitive status. There are some clunkers, don't get me wrong. There are pieces of the matches that are clunkers. There are some matches that are just overall clunkers. I think the biggest one I can remember is 2 of the biggest stars in AEW with Adam Cole and Chris Jericho in that Falls Count Anywhere match, which fell on the same card as Anarchy in the Asylum. So it was just a bad booking choice, bad match. I don't think Cole is any which way here. Hey, Crowder, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well here. Yeah, I put the little extra bonus part in there just so that people know that all gift subs as well as regular subs are 25% off from now until January 2nd. It's the Twitch bonus round, I believe is what they're calling it officially. So, how are you doing today? Hope everything's going well. The follow through from Christmas was hopefully okay today. I was just mentioning earlier I had to deal with a nice little break-in on Boxing Day. Always great finding the glass people to clean things up. That's always the hardest part here. So, but yeah, we're looking to have a really good show here tonight for. for AEW Dynamite as it's just about to start here now. Was working on a few videos today to finally solidify our lineup going into the new year here for what we're having on the gaming channel. No, I had to pick up a robbery on Boxing Day. One of our stores got broken into and window got smashed and all that. And our alarm company didn't call us, so always great in that case. So they managed to be in there about 3 hours before I showed up. So took us a while to get the glass company in there, but everything seems to be under control now. And the owner is finally listening to me about how insane this company is that we're dealing with, and they're dealing with it accordingly. They're starting with Moxley, Swerve, and Jay White. So our main event tonight is going to end up being Eddie Kingston and Brian Danielson? Oh, but I got to give a recommendation out right now. Can't stay long, Twitch sucks as you drive, but have a great show. Hey, you know what? We're going to have some fun tonight. If you're around tomorrow, just a heads up for anybody, we are going to be doing some retro Genesis play tomorrow. So I was just a guest on a fantasy draft for a podcast that just released. The video released today, the audio releases tomorrow. While I'm not going to spoil the details on it, I am going to be playing a bunch of the Genesis games that were involved. So we're gonna have some fun with that. And we are going to be here on Saturday for World's End here, so. But yeah, Crowder, if you're still there, just remind me to let you guys know what I want to do for a format next year for the YouTube channel. I got some ideas to make some changes to make things a little easier on all of us here. But I will say this, folks, if you haven't had a chance to go check out the gaming YouTube channel, I know it's a wrestling stream, but if you want to check it out, my new formatting has just been, like, today's video was one of the first that I've formatted under the new style. I'm trying to add some clips to the start of it so that you guys can sort of see what you're in for when you check things out at the beginning of the video. And also a lot of these round-based games, I'm starting to cut down the middle part of the game. Like I was just before getting on here, I was doing a Fall Guys edit. And in between every round, I got rid of the side talk that a lot of people can check on here. So when you get through the depression part of your cycle and start making content again, yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'll send a message to you guys after your stream tonight. Because actually this will involve you in some of the content you've been putting out, so hopefully. So, based on everything going on, so... Oh, wait, hold on. Wait for it. Oh, we got to get that in every day. So, you know, every time Swerve comes out, you know, Prince Nana can't steal all the spotlight. You can see some poor dancing on mine. I'm not going to start doing the whole... Because then I'm going to knock the microphone and wreck things. And that moment's clipped. Oh, my... Like I said on the pre-show here, I got a feeling, you know what? We're going to do this. We haven't done this in a while. That spinning Swerve dance should be on the intro now. I might have to.
One more for the good guys.
Musculant Brainsy, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Players Club. I'm going to put up the predictions right now so you guys can have a shot at this. going to put 10 minutes on the clock because this is going to be a good one. There's your prediction, guys and girls, and everything else. Feel free to put your prediction points down on it. These two matches, I don't know if we're going to figure out who's exactly going to win these. I know I've had my prediction from the start, and it seems like it's still lining up. But there's so many different combinations we could go with here, right? But how are you doing tonight, Muscular Brains? Sorry. Might have to call you Brains for short, because you're the brains of the organization around here. Or whichever way you want to go with that. No, I have to say this is... I'm very happy that they went with the triple threat here instead of the singles. Because there was an opportunity for them easily to go back to the Strickland Moxley singles again, right? Because Moxley just had to win that last match against White, and then it would have been just a one-on-one match. But because White won, and then everybody beat each other in the group for these three, they ended up tied for first, right? How you gonna count out a triple threat, Excalibur? Jesus. What is this, ECW elimination match? That's gotta hurt. At least White's selling it better. So here's a question for you, chat. Going into 2024, what do you wish for AEW? Not like what you wish they would do. What? Like if you were Santa right now to AEW, what would you wish them for? I would have to say my personal pick right now would be to wish them smaller venues. Not smaller attendance, smaller venues. Instead of these 15, 16,000 seat arenas, get them a good 10 to 12. They don't need to be in the oversized ones yet. Let yourself build up, look like you're sold out every show, and work on making yourself bigger. Until you boast about the fact that you're sold out all the time, I don't want to see you guys talking about, how you're the best promotion. I'd rather see you start small and build yourself up to a bigger venue. Just don't be afraid to go for the bigger venue once you get that crowd. Like I've seen many a promotion, claiming that they've sold out venues X number of times in a row. But if you don't push yourself to try and sell more tickets, I don't know what. Are you being complacent, or are you just getting that good of a deal that you want to go there? There's a whole bunch of different scenarios you can go with that. I do love the fact that they're making White look really strong here too. Swerve for Champ 2024? I will give you that. So my theoretical booking, which if you want to force me to explain all my booking for next year, or a lot of good storylines, there's a little group point goal down there if you want to check your payoff points down there. Like I've given you an option to predict on them as well, but they're doing the ROH titles as the main event. We're seeing who the devil is tonight. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you too, Mr. McGee. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything went well for Christmas. And I love that you have your own wrestling channel named off in the Remember the Game server once again. Yeah, so they're playing the typical WWE style here, but kind of a big deal. Absolutely you are. Jesus! Fosbury flop into a reverse somersault. Almost eats a front suplex, then he gives out a knee. So, back to what I was saying there. Swerve for champ. My personal prediction, I know this is a spoiler for Saturday. I think we're getting Samoa Joe as a new champ. I think Swerve takes it off Samoa Joe. And the championship I want to see. Wembley Stadium. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. Just shut up and take my money right now. You want to sell tickets, that's how you sell tickets. That would be a great match. Absolutely, that would. And then from there, you can, if Strickland, depending on when Strickland wins the title, you can go back to do another match with Paige. Because Paige is still pissed because, Strickland actually did come in and attack, invade his home. And nice little dance there by Swerve. Unfortunately, I don't have moves like that. I'd like to attempt to, but... Why didn't you move your arms, White? Seriously. Oh, God. That was pretty awesome. Even though the cameraman completely screwed up the move. Where do you think they're going with the Wardlow MJF feud? I think Wardlow's going to be an obstacle for MJF to go back to the title. I personally feel that they were probably going to load up with Wardlow going into Double or Nothing because that's the infamous night that MJF almost walked out on Wardlow's match, where he ended up getting the 5 power bombs and then getting on TV and doing his own pipe bomb the next night. Sorry, I got to mute the TV because these commercials aren't paying me anything, so they ain't getting no audio time on me. I personally think they probably would have done Revolution with Wardlow if MJF wasn't injured. Like, folks, he's got a torn labrum. That hasn't changed. And you'll notice that he hasn't wrestled since. The only matches that he was scheduled to be a part of, he ended up for the lack of a better term, he ended up flat on his face with a beer bottle around him. That was the only match he's had scheduled since he tore his labrum in the Full Gear match against Jay White. But he probably did one of the stupidest spots you could do as a wrestler. Let's see now. Our table's collapsed. Let's just go drop an elbow on the flat table right on the concrete where there's a pad. And if anybody's taking gym class, you know how thick those pads are. They're not. Tore my labrum years ago. It's not a fun... Exactly. Like MJF's gonna gut it out. He's a man's man. He's very prideful. He's old school when it comes to wrestling, both in his style and his personality. So he's gonna go through it tonight. That's why I think the ROH tag titles are on the line tonight, because I got a feeling there's gonna be a title change tonight. just because I think all the titles need to get off MJF here in a week. Now, I don't care about the crazy stories that are coming up, whether MJF is MJF's unsigned, whether he's signed, whatever. I just want some good. I want some good storyline out of this, but about 6 months of rehab, but I didn't have pro sports doctors help. In many cases, it really doesn't matter as long as you're not listening to Dolphin music. You know, Dolphin music makes it go faster, according to Jets fans. Oh, by the way, Aaron Rodgers.
You idiot.
I don't need to say any more about that. But, all right, guys, get your overlay fixed here. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going into the new year here for AEW. We're still in minutes of picture-in-picture here, TS said. Figure it out. Can't they ever find a switcher that knows what the hell he's doing? There we go. Finally, it's fixed. Oy. Well, I'll be honest here. We lost our sports radio station for TSN in June. And I have a honest... ever since then, I pretty much listen to podcasts all the time. It's actually killed my interest in listening to the radio. TSN basically just laid off everybody in the sports channel there. Yeah, I don't know how. This is probably going to go another 10. They've only got 4 matches scheduled tonight. As of right now, they might have a squash match in the middle here, depending on how fast some of these go, but Canadian providers try to push back because of all the changes CRTC are making, but I think they'll lose. Yeah, absolutely they're going to lose. You don't piss off the government. And it's almost like, it's almost as funny as these news media providers trying to get money out of, try to force Google to get money or something to that effect. So Facebook finally said, screw you, we ain't going to include any news reports. All right, that was a bad camera view, but it looked great. I thought that was going to be the way. Well, I guess it's going to be a little bit more of a climactic finish. One thing AEW needs to work on is TV production. You know what? I don't mind a little bit of crazy TV production sometimes. Like if the matches are okay. Well, that's how you fix not getting hit through a table. Get somebody to come up with a chair. I will say they need to get somebody in there that can handle solid TV production, but not just the head. They need the entire crew. They need to be getting better. Jay White is such a good heel, and a lot of people don't recognize it because they think, oh, Jay White's done. He lost to MJF. MJF just... Whoa, 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 whoa. That looked like 3.01 there. That was a unique change up there. This crowd is definitely behind Swerve. But as soon as... I didn't like how Full Gear ended for Nice. They have been the past couple weeks, yeah. Oh, they pretty much, ever since the death match, they've been all behind Swerve. Which is ironic because he won a feud about a house invasion. That was a nice, unique power bomb and the power slam move into a 450. And that's one way to break it up. Oh, here comes segment number 3. Well, at least they go into picture-in-picture properly. I don't know about getting out of it, but they definitely go into it okay. I'm thinking next year I might end up getting TSM Plus just to see Collision because I hear so many good things about Collision. Yeah, TSN has been pushing AEW more because they are starting. I think all the complaints that they're getting from us are starting to resonate a little more, and the fact that you're getting the numbers on Dynamite. You're not, like, obviously you're not getting the numbers on the other two, but you are seeing the numbers show up both in attendance and in viewership for both Dynamite, right? One thing I'll say about 2023, the Canadian tour, they sort of got an idea what places to go and what places not to go, and depending on the time of year and whatnot. Because you'll notice here in year 2, they bypassed quite a few cities, the ones that didn't get a lot of crowds out of it. Granted, it was a bad time of year and everybody was out of town, but notoriously when the other promotion was coming in to do tours, you would end up doing Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg, maybe Red Deer, Vancouver. Hey, Darth how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And you're going to the London, Ontario show, McGee. Nice. You can notice that they're doing a lot of shows in Ontario, but they're going to spots in Ontario where they also had a lot of Ring of Honor shows back in the day. Glad to see y'all peachy tonight. I hope you're as plumpy as a plum after Christmas dinner. Yes, I know that was terrible. But, you know, I got to come up with something sometimes, right? But, yeah, now they're making their Rampage debut in Vancouver. Or not their Rampage, their Collision debut in Vancouver. I'll be honest, I seriously was considering taking the week off and going out to Rampage for Collision in Vancouver just for the ROH taping. Because tomorrow's birthday girl, Rachel Elring, is on the ROH tour, obviously, so be nice to see her again. But London is a college town as well. They'll have lots of fans there. Hey, one thing I've always said, and one thing that always frustrates me with promotions, even here locally, why don't you talk to a university, even one show a year? Hell, even do it like the first week back to school for a semester or whatever. Make it $10 tickets, get in their gym. I guarantee the U of A would do it if you had like a beer comp. If you sold $10 tickets to the students. It would be absolutely amazing, and I wish more local promotions would do stuff like that, but because it could do nothing but good for you in terms of moving on to bigger shows and whatnot. You can keep. That was a quick switch. Kick to the back of the head by Swerve there. Sorry, I just Am I the only one who doesn't want to see Swerve win? I still say we're going to get Moxley and Kingston in that final. That's my prediction. It's been my prediction from the start of this tournament. And I really don't think that's going to change here. Especially with Danielson wanting to put over every single person he can. But one thing I will say, and as I said at the beginning of the show here, I don't care which of these 5 you get in the final, you're going to get a good show. I hope they're keeping this audio. Danielson is such a... yeah, maybe. I could see that too. I think he's better off not weighing those 3 belts so he can chase the TNT or the world title. More TV time for Swerve is always good for everyone. Abso-freaking-lutely. My personal opinion, I think Swerve gets the world championship after Samoa Joe. We talked about it earlier. And like I said, we do have a predictions donate goal here. If you guys are interested at all, feel free to contribute. How the ref would book. That very well could be one of the items we do. Head first into the chair. Jesus. There you go, Darth Mick. We got that loaded up. Only 2? Okay, we're at 10,000 so far. It only... according to Twitch, it says it only goes for a month, but if it'll let me keep going, I'm going to let it keep going. Then what I'm going to end up doing is just adding it into the Discord. Adding a channel to Discord on the what you guys want booked, and I'll start working on those. I'm just waiting for one more piece of equipment for me so I can work on it effectively. Nice clothesline. If you're wondering what that is, it's the Elgato prompter to go with my Elgato camera. So I can stare right at you while I'm reading the text. Because I'll say our new background here is thanks to Elgato as well. So the face cam and the extra... oh, God, nice shot. Yep, this is how you finish it. There it is. King Kong Lariat. Death Rider. There it is. It's writing itself right now. Either we're going to get... so now we're going to get either Moxley Danielson or Moxley Kingston. Either way. When you do that, none of them look weak. Abso-freaking-lutely. And besides, if anybody's complained that White took another pin, those guys you're never going to win with. You're never going to win against those guys. So I'm with Tony Khan to the fact of don't even try. Because a lot of people don't realize when they do this booking stuff, sometimes, you just ignore the haters altogether. But also don't put yourself in a position to make yourself look like an idiot. So, he's actually going out the same way, or what is he going to... oh, yeah, he is. No, he's going to do the extra walk. You notice how they were doing the tight shot? I will... you know what? As much as we crap on their prediction, or their production stuff... I will give him credit. Once Moxley started walking into the area that's probably empty right now, they ended up they changed the camera right away, right? Simon Miller just did a YouTube video in why AEW is going to bounce back in 2024. One was Tony pays attention to real criticism, not the IWC. I'll be honest, I feel that Tony Khan's been doing that all along. It's just he hasn't decided who constitutes real criticism. One thing I will say, this is sort of part and parcel what I think is going to happen with the one thing that happens with the production next year. As I'll say that as soon as he gets a long-term deal signed with whatever TV company he's with, whether it be Warner, USA, Amazon, whatever he ends up with next year, because the rights do have to be signed off. Whoever he gets signed off with, I will say women's wrestling will become more of a focal point. Reason being, he doesn't have to worry about the limitations of, having to impress overall numbers overall. He can grow things. He can make things get bigger. Right now, he is in such a position where he has to go with what he knows rather than trying new stuff out. Because if he has a real bad week, he's going to get absolutely roasted by executives asking, why did you get this? I will say this, McG. I do appreciate where he adjusts where you think he adjusts where he needs to. I will throw one detractor out at you as a clear example, and that's Full Gear. That whole drama situation between having the injury angle to start the show after the tag match. Then you have the Jay White coming out and going to be handed the title, but Adam Cole comes out and says, no, I will stop you. I will wrestle you. As soon as Adam Cole said he was going to wrestle Jay White, you pretty much lost me at that point. Because I get friendship and all that, but you're never going to take a one-legged man into an ass-kicking contest. And that's pretty much what Adam Cole was in that situation. And I don't think anybody believed that Adam Cole was going to be the one that's going to wrestle that match. I think if he color corrects this one properly with the torn labrum and everything going on with what's going on with MJF right now and the booking how I think it's going to go, there's quite a possibility that we could get all those detractors finally sitting back and saying, whoa, hold on here. That could have been played out there. Absolutely. And there's been many examples of that. Like, I was watching Wrestle Talk's worst matches of the year. And a few of those were just simply circumstance. Thank you for your contribution to the How the Ref Will Book Challenge, Big G. I really hope I get a chance to do these videos. Like, if you guys don't know, not in terms of personality, but product, Adam Blampied was one of my favorites. And I hope in the future I can create some stuff that's similar to that, just to have some fun with it. I'm not going to... One thing I will say, and I do... I was offered a position to go do a best of worst of show where I could give my picks for a best AEW, worst AEW, and all that. I humbly turned it down. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not in a position where I want to say something was the best or something was the worst. I can sit back and I can picture what could have been, but I just really appreciate what is. And if you don't like what is, you shouldn't be watching it to begin with. And just don't. All right, we get... Swerve is pissed. Yeah. Yeah. Saturday, we get Swerve and Lee. Let's go. That look on Swerve's face is priceless. Oh, you know what? Everybody's talking about, McGee, you laid it right out. You talk about people that are pissed off about, booking mistakes that Tony Khan's made. Here's the beautiful thing about wrestling. You don't necessarily have to... You might miss your spot, but there's some matches where you could just bring them right back and everybody's just, yep, thank you. We're going to do this. And Swerve and Keith Lee bringing that back, I consider that a win. Oh. How long till she turns on Tony? There's a movie that this is all based off of. I can't remember what it's called. So I'd have to read up on it to find out.
One more for the good guys.
Noticeable signing. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Players Club. So we get Mariah May next week. Oh, and here comes Rio to kick her rear end. But thank you. Welcome to the Players Pit. Noticeable signing. Enjoy the nice bar room there. Just don't grab the punch in the corner. I think McGee spiked it. And they immediately go to the black and white. Uh-oh. Rio's up on the top. I'm actually... You did no such thing. Oh, yeah. I saw that bottle. I like the fact that they got Rio back. They didn't give her any real reason why to be in this match, but they've actually built some animosity and enough of a reason for her to get this title match. I don't expect her to win the slightest, but and this is the exact symbol why. As a challenger, you never walk in the ring showing off the title in your hand like that. And watching Tony have an absolute fit right now. That face is priceless on Tony. Timeless is such a great gimmick, yeah. And just think, this all came out because she did a movie. Orange Cassidy's your hero, yeah. All right, so we get that was, I've heard of being a thirst trap, but that's a whole different level there. Roppongi Vice and Orange Cassidy versus, okay. Oh, this should be fun. Watching Adam and Jay just go at it is just, whether it's on the stick or whether it's in the ring, it's just fun to watch. I will admit that match in Montreal, that ending was about as predictable as you can get. You know, when you're holding the belt in the direction of the person you're going to hit and it's not Christian? Maybe it's just me, but I get it. She's not a trained wrestler, yada, yada, yada. Still not the best, but but I'll say this. 2023 has been I guess I'm always saying I'll say this. I got to work on this. Hey, S2S, how are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. And hell, I hope everybody's doing well in chat here tonight. And whether you check this out live, whether you check this out on YouTube, or checking out the VODs, it's always appreciated having you guys here. Guys and girls, we don't designate here. Just hope you've had the most excellent of years, the most excellent of holidays. And 2024 is going to be all our years. I'll say that. We're going to have some fun times this year. If you guys haven't heard, I'm taking a page out of a podcast that I was on tomorrow. By the way, for anybody that didn't hear, tomorrow's stream in the afternoon might involve this. Just saying, not saying, just saying. But I'm taking a page out of the Remember the Game playbook, and coming up, hopefully in January, I got to nail down all the details in that. We're going to have our own live fantasy draft here on the channel. It's going to be everybody in the Backbreaker family, both the video and the gaming. We're going to have all 3 guys, 1 lady in. The theme is going to be wrestling theme songs. And here's the catch what's the difference between what you've seen on other ones and what you're going to see here? This is live. If you want to get your picks and try to influence our panelists, you're going to be able to, because chat's going to be live. They're going to be able to see it. They're going to try to decide what to pick. You could start influencing them. And I'll get you guys a chance to vote in our Discord about it. It's a free Discord, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, please do. We do mostly right now. It's just alerts about what's going online and whatnot. And but we will be trying to start expanding that going into the new year here. So, but the winner of the draft is going to get some money donated to a charity of their choice. I'm not rich like Adam, so it might not be as much as him, but as much as he was doing. But we're gonna do our best here to help do some good here. So, did anybody else see Lana's injury down in Mexico for AAA? It actually happened on Saturday, but the infection got so bad that basically her middle finger looks absolutely wrecked. I guess she had like two or 3 days of surgery. Apparently the infection went to her arm. Ugh. Surgery went good. But look at this. Now we got El Idolo Miro. Like, from going to absolutely nothing to everything this Saturday. Oh, God. I love how disgusted Tony look. Well, every time he comes out, Tony just feels like, he treats Tony like absolute garbage, right? So, for you Americans that aren't familiar with it, Boxing Week is a tradition that originally started out in Europe. It was a sort of I don't want to say humiliating, but it was more of a understanding where the servants and the masters actually switched spots for one day. I appreciate this crowd so much tonight. We haven't seen Dawn on our TV for a month and a half now. I'm guessing these pictures have to do with who they're feud with. Absolutely. He's so upset because Omega's hurt because he didn't get to do the beat 'em up for it. And there's one member of the family missing still. Boxing Week's not even a stat holiday in Canada, for Pete's sake. Does that mean if it's a Boxing Week gift, was it on discount? Wouldn't surprise me. Oh my. Oh my. Wait, how did they put Callis' head on my body? Somebody please let me know that. That one looks a little bit more like Callis. The aged ripples there, looks like it's more saggy than anything. That looks like Ryu and Boxer there from Street Fighter. But there is one more. Our fourth member is back. They need to have a like, he was off with a concussion. Then, of course, they had a kid. Him and Ty had a kid. Congratulations to both of them for their new child. But yeah, Sammy's been gone for a while due to a concussion, right? So I'm hoping this is the start of a. Sammy's probably going to be broken up off the group, I'm guessing here, based on what that fourth painting is, right? You notice he's wearing his Jericho threads, right? That's fair. The Canadian Postal Service does suck. I did order something a week before Black Friday. I still haven't got it yet from Florida, so. Yeah, it's going to be all three of them beating him up. Oh. Whoa. I love this crowd. Whoa. Whoa. It's true. It's damn true. I still can't get over that Gorbachev blotch on his head. Oh, that's an old school thought that doesn't go through anymore. Oh. All right, chat, I'm going to ask you point blank. Who would you pick? Ty or Don? Anybody that votes Don, I got this ready already for you. Don't you dare. Anybody picking Don simply getting one of those. Now Jericho's going to come out and save... Yeah, this is booking on the fly, my friends. Like I said, if this is Jericho's new partner... Oh, that was a home run. The Blue Jays had $700 million available. You know, maybe they need a new hitter. Sammy Guevara might get hit something pretty good. Jericho seems more like a slap hitter, so they just signed Kiermaier, so they don't have to worry about that part. Oh. There it is. And here comes feud number 3 into the mix. So for anybody that wants to say Tony Khan doesn't book on the fly and fix things up with good storylines, McGee, I think you just got your result that makes this seem a lot better. You should be booking. Hey. But this is a... With TSM, we're never sure if this is real or not. Okay. Gotta love the guy in the front row with the kazoo shirt just freaking out of his mind that he gets to see Sting. Well, there's a stare down. So could we end up with a 3-way dance for the tag titles on Saturday? Sting versus Jericho in Sting's last match? I don't know. It would make a lot of sense to me in many ways. As long as it isn't Sting versus Flair, I am more than happy. Because if Flair's involved... You notice ever since Sting versus Darby, that would make a lot more sense to me. But one thing I will say is Sting hasn't had a single... I don't think Sting's had a singles match since he's been back. And here's the other thing. Oh, God. Never mind. I'll be back with that in a sec. Renee! You notice he's not yelling Max out loud? Adam! I definitely need to find a way to get that as a sound bite for whenever Adam pops into the streams. Sort of like a trigger when he ends up being a viewer, it just triggers the sound. Yeah, I hate to say this, but I think MJF's losing at home, and I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. Then you got Tony Storm, first real defense on a pay-per-view, I think. Swerve and Keith. All I can say about that is yes, please. Yes, please. El Idolo versus Miro. Yes, please. That Julie Hart and Abaddon, that has been a fight that's generated. It did have a confusing bit of booking there on Saturday, but we'll live with it.
One more for the good guys.
Paladuga, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Players Club. Enjoy the dance table. Please avoid the punch because I think it's spiked. So we're either getting Moxley. I still say it's going to be Moxley Kingston because that's the story that was going into this, but you didn't do it. You know, McGee, you know, I'm going to turn into the Charlie Day conspiracy guy with about that. I still haven't been able to get the footage from the security company, but we'll see. There's another reason why I don't think you're going to get Danielson as the winner of this. He loses this. Tomorrow he can leave on a plane to go to Japan because he's got Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. And it gives him a full week to get ready for the match. Because he's got probably a 45, 50-minute match in their rematch. The one thing I appreciate about that bum sign, it was done with cardboard. Just improves the aesthetic that much more, right? So I have to ask you guys, when Eddie Kingston made his debut against Cody Rhodes, did you ever think that you would see him in this situation? There's a female fan cheering for Eddie, so you know he's got to be well liked. It would make sense to let Eddie win this year he's had, with the year he's had as well. Yeah, let's put it this way. He put both of his titles up. The second that he put both his titles up, I almost felt like it almost diminished the chances of somebody else winning it. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're probably going to give him about 20, 25 minutes here for this. Just sit back and get ready. You're going to love it. Either way, the storyline between this, having... I question at times if Eddie knows wrestling's a work. You know what? That's the best wrestlers. The best wrestlers are those that make you feel like you know you're actually watching a real wrestling match. There's some of us that still want to believe, and yes, I do know that I look like I'm in the shape of the guy from that famous meme. But it's true. I will read, I'm not going to hide it. I have a subscription to Fightful Select. I support Sean Ross Sapp and all the work that he does. But when it comes to spoilers and that, I try not to read as much as I can about it. And if I do, even if it's on here, I won't I made a career. It was a 5-year career, but it was a career of knowing a result of something, but trying to show that I didn't. I think that's one of the gifts of being a commentator sometimes. Because if wrestlers want you to know certain points, they're sometimes going to let you know, okay, well, after this match, we're going to do something here, so don't cut it off early or anything, right? It's that same girl there that was cheering on Kingston to start, so. Kingston missed on 2 of those chops. That was a chop. He just chops like a sledgehammer. Hey, Jaron, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I love the emote. Eddie reminds me of that uncle who takes the family football game way too seriously. Oh. I'll never forget the one time I actually played tackle football in school. We didn't have enough people to have an actual team, but I ended up running down the field. And when it comes to sports, like, I know rules, but I'm not exactly up here. The best when I'm playing it. I used to coach, never used to play. So the one time I go running down this field and this guy just, I must have been, or I was about 5'10", 220. So I was a pretty big kid. One of the high school guys, he's like 4 inches taller and about 50 pounds heavier, just starts coming down, and he hit a spear that would make Roman Reigns proud. And all I could do is just come up and just get up, scream, yell, unnecessary roughness, and then fall back down because I was winded. And that was pretty much the end of my football career. Roman Reigns, who is that? The guy that never shows up to WWE anymore. Or if he does, it's once every 6 weeks. It's one thing I really disliked about the PWI 500. Roman Reigns was in the top 3. I think the body of work that he did actually, to me, felt like there were a ton more wrestlers that deserved that spot more than he did. I get it. It's all about booking and taking advantage of your situations. But at the same time, if they want to highlight you as a top wrestler, they have to take into consideration how much you actually work. And frankly, ever since WrestleMania, Roman has no longer become that must-see event. Because everybody expected that title on Cody, and when it didn't go there, everybody just threw their hands up and said, well, now what? And they don't believe anyone will actually beat him. That's why I want to see Punk and Roman at Mania. I think we're going to get a Punk Cody, but I would love to see Punk Roman at Mania. Just because it's 2 people nobody wants to see. If you want to see the IWC meltdown, put Punk versus Roman Night 2 WrestleMania for the title. And that's all you have to do. Like, WWE will get their money because of sales, because the casuals will love that match. But, yeah, the IWC will be like, screw this. His last 2 appearances, the crowd didn't seem to care anymore. Yeah, nobody believes he's going to lose. Poor Cody, his story will never end at this point. With all due respect, all kidding aside, I think they're going to do Cody Roman at Mania for the title. I think it's going to be Punk and Seth. They're going to save it for there. But I will shock a lot of people. Punk's first match will not be at the Rumble. It's going to be the first week after NFL doesn't have football on Monday. Because they want to prove that the numbers increased so much because they had CM Punk there. His first match, hey, realistically, his matches don't count if they're not on TV, right? Because, yeah, look, as much as we want to talk about Saturday's match and yesterday's match for Punk, or part of his first 2, yeah, they're already saying MSG sales are because of Punk's match, typical WWE BS. Exactly. Like, I'll agree with you. WWE has got their promotion machine out 100% right now. And it's one thing that I know I was listening to McGuire on Wrestling a couple of weeks back, and he was talking about how he hates how AEW talks about sales numbers in an economy like this. Like they sold it the first week after the all-in pre-sales. He was complaining that AEW showed nice throw. They talked about how AEW's already put out $1 million in sales. Well, you don't want to talk about that when people are having problems trying to get food on their plate. My counter to that was, for all the excitement that WWE had, for all the excitement for the attendance figures for All In, the next Friday, WWE comes out and talks about how they already sold $1 million for WrestleMania on the first day. So both companies are just as guilty of all this promo crap. I don't understand how fans buy what WWE reports as sales and ticket sales when they have been caught over and over and over again lying about numbers. McGee, frankly, now thanks to WrestleNomics and a lot of those sites that can fact check all this stuff, like I won't take Meltzer just from hearing stuff. WrestleNomics actually goes to the websites and produces the information, right? But a lot of people just don't care. I want good wrestling. 100%, but people still believe it. Yeah. One thing you learn is people are going to believe whatever they want at certain times. Like they're going to believe in a certain product. They're going to believe in certain scenarios, certain... Like, some people can't do anything wrong. It's just, some people believe that Saturn sucks. Not going to mention names, but he is involved in the Genesis poll that I'm involved with tomorrow. So, feel free, if you're not a patron, remember the game. Remember who sent you this message. I believe everybody can believe in whatever they want, but there's some people that just have a decision, they've made it, and that's it. Is Danielson going for that headbutt again? Even Harley Race's turned around and said, don't do the stupid headbutt. Oh, there you go. That's how you do a headbutt. You don't. Look at Danielson's chest. Like, I hope you guys got your contrast fixed, because that is beat red. Oh, no. Nope. Danielson sneaks through. Cringe every time I see the headbutt. Absolutely. Like I hate to bring it up sometimes, but I will admit my favorite wrestler growing up was always Redacted. It went from Boss Man to Redacted. Mainly because I met Redacted on a training as he was taking some time off in 96. I actually knew him I'm not going to say very well, but decently. I can separate the two, but a lot of people can't. All I can say is in life, make sure you got your priorities straight. Because you can be absolutely amazing at something, but if you don't have the rest of your life in order, you're never going to figure it out right. Wow! That was nice. That was a nice reversal, and that also incorporates the eye injury. Oh, sorry. Gotta get the mute up. You know, as much as we've been talking about other things here, this has been an absolutely fantastic match here. Like, watching, the pace has been very deliberate. It hasn't been overly fast-paced. But at the same time, everything's meant something to the match. Like, Danielson's just trying to plain old wear out Kingston and working on the arm so that Kingston can't get the spinning back fist in. And then, of course, Kingston's just working over the eye, right? These two just know how to do it and do it good. Yeah, like, I hated how Kingston's Impact Wrestling ended. After they did that storyline where they apparently threw a woman into a train and everybody believed it. They basically did some Lucha Underground stuff. Just fun watching Kingston's face. Like, he's not losing this. But you can tell as they're going in for their chops here, they're just solid right in the chest. And they're doing the picture-in-picture well because they're taking their time. They don't have to do anything crazy right now. The story doesn't have to progress because they're in the commercial. And Remsburg will tell them when they're back. And in my prediction, they got about 10 minutes left in this match. So, they got a lot of pacing to do. I'm assuming actually, they probably got about 5 more minutes because we got the Copeland Cage interview. We got the women's match, and then we got the main event. And I'm figuring the main event segment will take about 15 minutes. I don't expect it to be a very long match for the main event. But I do also expect an overrun, too, because that's what AEW does. Do we find out who the devil is tonight? I think there's a very high possibility. I still want it to be Britt Baker, of all people. And I want it to be Britt Baker specifically if Adam Cole doesn't know about it. Because Britt can turn around and say, you took everything from me. You're taking my promo time. You're taking my boyfriend. Dolph, you know, I would almost take Ali over Dolph. Except for all the independent bookings that Ali has. If Ali didn't have, like, the world tour going on that he does. And by the way, kudos to him. Because for what he's done, like, for everything that Ali has done for himself going forward, and let's face it, the way everybody's been reacting, like, there's a good 6 or 7 wrestlers that have just... Oh, nice. He's betting on himself, and he thinks, you know what? It's always great to have a good start. I'm not going to say if anybody succeeded or failed. You got to give it a year. Because anybody can get bookings right away. Hell, Ryback got bookings right after he was let go.
One more for the good guys.
Welcome, cancerous CRS. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Players Club. Enjoy the food. Don't try the punch. Somebody spiked it. And yeah, we just enjoyed a fun night of Dynamite tonight. It is a ton of... Like, this match is absolutely fantastic here. But WWE did Ali dirty. They did a lot of wrestlers dirty. Like, look what Mason Mansoor are doing now. By the way, if you aren't following Black Otaku on Twitch here, that's Mace's account. Or Mason Madden, as he's now called, I do believe. Shelton's doing whatever he wants. Yeah, that chest is juicy. That's why I think he's not going to be involved on Saturday. Because we have been waiting for Kingston versus Moxley. No way. Kingston barely got out of that. I don't even think he really kicked out. He just rolled a little bit. Damn, that's awesome. But yeah, in terms of the releases, I want to see what everybody does following up to it. Like, I know there's the all-women show down in Australia. I believe Emma's going to end up down there, Tennille Dashwood. I know Riddick Moss and her are doing like a travel vlog, I do believe. Shelton's just chilling because he knows he'll get booked whenever anybody wants him. The one team I want to give a real... The legs made it believable, yeah. The one team I really want to give a shout out is someone who got released a little bit earlier. They just got let out of their contracts. The guys known as the Grizzly Young Veterans. The Grizzly Young Vets, they have been the carbon copy of what to do and how to be professional. Well, at least Kingston let Danielson know that he's still okay. But, yeah, the GYV are ending up going to Hard to Kill. It was just announced this week, so. Oh! Half and half on top of the head. Now we're going for home runs here, boys. Third one. Stack powerbomb. There we go. That's how you make someone. When Danielson goes back to check out his checklist, I made him, 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 and I made Eddie Kingston tonight. Let's just... That's all you're going to see there. Just ting, 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 ting. My God, that was awesome. And people don't realize they've been wanting this match between Kingston and Moxley 2022? Ever since they broke up as a tag team? Like, think about this. Eddie's been in the G1 and the Continental Classic. And he's had a ton of fun in both. This match is going to be nasty. It's going to be brutal. And it's two best friends just going at it. I'll be frank. I'll throw my pick out right now. Early pick. It's going to be Kingston defending his championship. And Moxley's finally going to get his vacation. Oh, and here comes Moxley. Death Jitsu, pure garbage. I love those hoodies, by the way. There's not going to be a shaking of hands on this one. I wish they would show off the championship, the new one. Please don't make this a long promo or we're not going to get much of a women's match. Wow, okay. I love Jon Moxley. Wasn't that what Danielson said? I love this promo. I love every little cent of this. This is going to be bloody. This is going to be powerful. Ah. King of the Bums, put it on a t-shirt. Hey, I'll put my bum out there for a t-shirt. Ha! He loved that. He's yelling at the sound guy to play my music. Because I think what happened on Friday, they didn't play the music until they broke up after the show was over. So it's little things that make you sound like an indie a little bit, but I love that sign in the crowd. If Kingston loses, I'm a crying Brian. Either way, I think this is going to be an absolutely fantastic match. All right, we're going to get a nice 1-minute segment here with Christian and Copeland. Nice. All right, we get it after the commercial break. All right, fair enough. Yeah, we're going to get a hell of a match set up for the Triple Championship, and I wonder what that third one's going to look like. That's going to be fun. We got the It's funny, we have the international title and we have the Continental title. What happens if we ever get a unification match out of that? Do we get an Intercontinental title? Maybe. I prefer AEW backstage interviews more than WWE's. Yeah. It almost feels like, I don't even mind the screw ups in some of them. Like sometimes they'll have an odd screw up of, they'll flub their lines. They'll say something that doesn't make any sense to the promo. But I'd rather take that and have somebody real than have somebody go, yeah, that's a moment. Renee always laughing is great. My favorite moment last week when Tony pulled the shoe out. Renee's already ducking and Mariah doesn't, so Mariah gets hit with it. Renee is self-aware, which I do appreciate more than anything there. So as we're not going to get much of a break here for the rest of the show here, just want to give you guys a quick recap of what's going to be happening here. Starting tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have a little, I'm just pulling this out because I love this little thing. It's the Genesis controller for the Nintendo Switch. We'll check out the Genesis version of Switch Online thanks to my participation in the Remember the Game Fantasy Draft for Genesis games. If we have some time, we might, I got a few collections as well we might get into here. But Saturday, we will be here for World's End. So feel free to stop by, hang out, enjoy a little bit of time with me here. It is always a blast. And then might be on Sunday, not 100% sure yet. Playing it by ear. Monday, January 1st. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to a new game, Horizon Zero Dawn. We are going to be starting that on New Year's Day here. Picked up an OG Sega Master System and Sega Genesis. You deserve the horn on that one there, McG. Just great on you, and I love it. Now we just need to get you a second or third Sega Saturn here, so. As well, just a quick reminder, it is in the pinned chat. Up until January 2nd, all subs are 25% off. So including gift subs now. So if you are interested, no pressure at all. Feel free to throw some in there for it. Everything you donate is going to help the stream make things a little better for it. So. I love this. See, I want a wall taken out. These are all concrete walls, so it's pretty safe to do this. Locker rooms being cleaned up. Where's Luchasaurus been? He got written off with a concerto at the pay-per-view. Or just before the pay-per-view. Brian Keith in the back? Let's go! Oh, Copeland's coming out after him again. Tried to get the shot and then he just stopped, damn it. Whoa, KM there. Copeland's a little pissed. I love this. Coward, he's the one that went face to face with you. Solid interview. Well done. Lots of information given out there. Gold star. There we go. Well, time for the Statlander show. I think this is the first time we're seeing her on Dynamite since she lost the championship. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I have a crush on Statlander. Me too, my friend. That is definitely just so many good things about her. So Statlander, Willow Nightingale are being a focus on ROH now. Okay, that makes sense. And I love the... When does she change her name to Skye Black? I don't know. I don't think so. I do love the fact how this story went out. I know a lot of people are like, why did she do the turn? I love the fact that for so many weeks she's been fighting this miss that Julia Hart gave her. And then eventually it just took hold, right? It's like an infection. Now that the infection is down, she's like totally a Julia Hart's wheelhouse here, right? You notice the wide camera changed angles now? Oh, AEW has some amazing women's wrestlers. They have a lot. And like I said, and of course I'm saying that phrase again. I got to learn to stop saying that as much. But as much as I hate Ken Holland, Tony Khan's booking of the women's division, while a lot of people say it's absolutely horrible, it reminds me of Ken Holland with the Detroit Red Wings. And it was one of my biggest complaints coming out of the pandemic, is the women's wrestling, like, you would have 6 or 7 top wrestlers and that's it. Your division just wasn't at the level where it needed to be a consistent TV product. Well, taking a page out of Jack Cartwheel there. But what Ken Holland would do with his rookies, and he would make sure they go in the minors. They'd be over-ripened before they get a chance to come up to the NHL. And the fact that all these women got so many extra matches in ROH, on Dark Elevation, on Rampage, which you're not going to convince me otherwise that Rampage isn't just a throwaway show now. Until they actually do something solid on a Friday. Even WWE can't get huge numbers now, even with Roman Reigns around on a Friday.
One more for the good guys.
Well-heeled ERW, thank you for the follow. Sorry, Well-heeled Ed thank you for the follow, regardless. Sorry, if there's a better explanation for your name, feel free to let me know. Welcome to the Players Club. Enjoy the view, and wow, we're getting a ton of followers tonight. I appreciate having you all out here tonight. The punch is fine. I know you did something with it, so don't even kid about it. So I'm waiting for that test to come back from the lab, and no, I'm not changing it because I'm too cheap to get extra chemicals here, because all the good stuff's up in the Players Club, which is the subs. You have to hit that little sub button that's 25% off to get that. So, which reminds me, I need to get a punch button for my Stream Deck here. I do need to clean up my Stream Deck. I got it sort of set up halfway between using 2 and using 1, and I've been getting all these little parts, but I haven't been taking the time to actually make them integrate properly. So, Leafs lose to the Sens. Is there any other one I could use here? Here we go. Knew I had that in there somewhere for some reason. I kid, the Leafs are a good team, but they're going to find a way to lose in the playoffs. Sort of like how the Chiefs are going, and I don't know if the Chiefs might end up not winning a game for the rest of the year. Could you imagine them losing their way out of the playoffs this year? They got 2 games left. And I am cheering so hard for the Ravens next week to beat Miami, because then the Bills have a shot in week 17 to take out the Dolphins. And that would be freaking amazing. But yeah, if Vegas runs the table and KC loses both, then yeah, we got KC out of the playoffs. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of sports we could be talking here too, but my 49ers look good until they met the Ravens, damn it. You know what? I know a lot of people are talking about Purdy being a fraud. Trust me, I've heard it a lot. I don't think it's that bad. I just think everybody gets a bad night once in a while, and the Ravens have just been over-prepared for everything. And that's what And once again, TSN can't get your picture straight. Ugh. Oh, and before I forget, McG, if you're at all interested in some PC gaming or PC Master Racing, in the Epic Store, it is free today, Curse to Golf. For anybody that's listening here, very fun golf game. Basically, Chaos Theory Suplex. I haven't seen one of those in a while. And Shivani pulls out the Vince McMahon. That's great. Yeah, if you have an Epic Games account, they have a free game every day. Which I do believe unlocks at 10 o'clock Mountain Time or noon Eastern. And wow. I'm surprised that isn't called a Code Black. Statlander's legs are huge. That's true. Oh, nice. Her legs are huge, and now she's got those braces to go with it. Statlander rolled through that. Thank you. Come again. I'm just impressed with the power of Statlander. Like, Statlander's got a presence about her. With all the power that she has and just the aura that she gives off. It's sort of like what I think about Britt Baker as well, except Britt Baker's more of a polished product. Statlander's still just trying to get it all together, and because of injuries, she's just that much further behind right now. Statlander versus Rhea. Give me that one all day and then twice on Sunday. This is how you get Skye Blue the win here. Here's the interference and the mist. And the cheeky Nando's. Oh, it's with the title, that's why. Oh, this could be rough. Oh, they hit it right. Sorry, I'm taking the curtain back a little bit. I love how Skye let Statlander fall on that. Like there was no force going down. But that's how you get the victory there and make Statlander still look strong here. Well, of course she's got an incredible winning record. She won the title on her first night back because you were losing your top protege. Lost your top protege. She showed up on WWE, did the Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler routine. Oh, somebody hit the emergency button. So if you're new to the stream, we've decided that the reason the music goes off for everybody, and the reason there's such a delay for people getting out there, they actually have to go run over and hit a buzzer, right? So like a game show buzzer. Otherwise, you'd be out there a lot quicker, right? So, yeah. Now they're cornered 3-on-2. Where are you going to go? I'm glad that they got Abaddon in for a championship match. Like, somebody different, somebody nobody expected. So what's Renee up to now? Don't think Abaddon's going to win, but I like this run. She is a good wrestler, yeah. So that's where they're putting Harley Cameron now? What is Harley doing with a knife? All right. Let me back up the story here. There's basically a love and hate kind of thing going on. Saraya hates Angelo Parker, and Angelo and Ruby are actually like, they're doing the grease kind of run for a hookup kind of thing. And yeah, Saraya doesn't want anything to do with it. Harley Cameron just got thrown into this because the role that she had basically disappeared when QT Marshall quit. Because she was basically involved in the QTV little... Whoa! Okay, so they're getting... They're doing a Money in the Bank Battle Royal. That's cool. And the FTW title goes back on 0 Hour once again. I will say this card I will say. I keep saying that. This card does feel a lot lighter than most cards, but it's definitely going to be... QT quitting, I don't think, is not going to help him. Well, the thing is, QT thinks he could be a lot better wrestler than he is. Depending on the atmosphere, he could be a great draw. Oh, now we got an 8-man tag instead. Okay. So they got out of the tag title match a different way. That's interesting. But I think QT will do okay down in Mexico. Like, he was the Latin American champion for a few months there. I think he could go back and actually get over a little bit. I don't think he's going to do much in WWE, to be honest. He'll be a mid-card jobber, and that's about it. If he just wants to wrestle, then fine. He's fine there, but... But if he's not... All right, who's the tag team? I don't think we actually get to see who it is. Unless it maybe... Could it be the Kingdom? Could it be the Kingdom? I don't know who we're going to get here. Who's your guys' pick for who the tag team is right now? Could it be a Wardlow Jungle Boy? Wardlow and Hangman? I would love to see it be Wardlow and Hangman, but I don't think... I don't know if Hangman's really going to be involved in that. I think... Could you imagine it being the Bucks? And they bring back the old Bullet Club together? Yeah, the Young Bucks. It could go so many different ways here. I don't know if they'd want to put them in the Ring of Honor division. So it's funny. I think it's Matt's wife actually just resigned as the VP of merchandise for AEW, and it's so funny. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. The Bucks are all leaving." I'm like, no. As far as I'm concerned, this might actually be a very good change here for AEW, because explain to me why there are not like 200 or 300 Pentamax, Phoenix Max, different merchandise things besides t-shirts out there. When you go to a venue and you go to the AEW merch tables, there isn't a lot of variety, to be honest with you. Everything you can find on Pro Wrestling Tees is great, but you need to find a little bit more going forward, right? Not a lot of merch. Yeah, they want you to go to the website. And based on the prices, it almost felt worthwhile going to the website instead. The only thing I picked up on the last time they were here in Edmonton was a copy of the tour shirt. Because that's something you're not going to get on the website, right? So, this is going to be quick, by the way. Yeah, you got to love it. Like I said, I don't really want to do it. I got to claim Foam's scissor fingers. Well, yeah. They were probably almost forced to do that, right? I love how they say 60 limit time limit when there's 2 minutes left in the TV time remaining. Yeah, it's Moxley for coming out of the crowd. They're two big guys. You find it rather interesting that Joe decided to accept this match a lot quicker than the last one, especially with the titles on the line. It's so amazing. They're going to go to Long Island on Saturday. Joe jumps him and leaves MJF for dead. Joe's playing mind games. Watch this. Joe's the devil. All right, well, Joe being the devil makes sense. Yeah, like he said, he's the devil is going to take everything away from him. This is the first way to do it. First, you take the ROH title away. Watch it be Bill and Ricky, right? Wait, where's Calvin Klein underwear? If anybody's wondering on that. Okay. Yeah, how do you call this if you don't know who either one is? Third one from under the ring. That one looked like Wardlow, to be honest. There it is. Told you there was a reason that they got the title off real quick. I love how Justin was actually going to attempt to say something. Now he sees the chair in his hand, so he's going to think that he did this. Pleasure doing business with you. Yep, there it is. In league? Oh, I guess that's a nice twist. He's going to do the muscle buster now. Oh, my God. Well, you want to make a heel for Saturday. So, who do we call the ROH champions? Do we just give it to Vacant and Vacant's cousins? Like, I think that might be the one we have to go with it here. But we only had what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We only had 4 matches tonight, guys. 4 matches in a 2-hour show. And it felt almost like a pay-per-view tonight. We got so much storytelling done. And I think this might be the best way that you could sell a pay-per-view going into World's End here on Saturday. I don't know about you, but this makes me want to watch it on Saturday. Because Joe basically is taking everything away from Max, right? And now you got the Devil, who you could almost say great doing business with you. Could that have been Joe pre-taping that and ending their business transaction now? Or is it somebody else? I'm assuming it's somebody else. And I think this pushes it even more to be a guy like Nick Nemeth as part of the whole story here with their connection with WWE, right? So for me, to me, that's what I feel is probably going to end up happening here, but we're probably going to find out Saturday night. And between that, the Continental Classic that we just had finalized here, we're getting Moxley versus Kingston. We're getting Moxley versus Kingston out of those two. We got ROH tag champs that we don't even know who they are because they're still masked up. And yeah, it's just... It's going to be interesting. Are we going to say cousins of Vacant? That's what I was thinking of. And then you had a really entertaining match with Skye Blue and Kris Statlander, and they found a way to get Skye Blue the victory while still making Statlander look really strong. Even after a belt shot, it took a top rope or a second rope code red or code blue, whatever you want to call it, to get the victory there. And they were trying to put some in dissension between Willow and Statlander on commentary with Stokely. I think that's falling flatter than AJ Styles' Thoughts of Earth, but I digress on that. Or I had to. Couldn't think of anything else witty at the moment. But all in all, this was a great go-home show for Dynamite. We had Christian Cage and Adam Copeland beating the hell out of each other around the arena. Mostly Copeland doing the beating. You had Mariah May come out and make her announcement that her first ever match in AEW is going to be next week. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And other than that, pretty straightforward show. We found out we're getting a few extra matches on the pay-per-view. We're getting Swerve versus Lee finally. Pretty much a year and a half in the making, if not longer. We're getting 8-man tag now with Bill and Starks along with Fletcher and Hobbs taking on Sting, Darby, Jericho, and Guevara. And Guevara's return to the ring. And yeah, we're getting Hart and Abaddon. There's going to be a ton of matches here coming up on the weekend. I will be here this Saturday for World's End. So I hope that you come here and join me as well. I'll be here probably shortly after 7 o'clock Eastern. 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Mountain. If I'm late from work, I'm definitely going to be eating pizza while we're doing this.
One more for the good guys.
Skeletali H, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Players Club. Make sure you bring your own drink because the one in the corner still looks spiked. I don't care what McGee says in the chat. But I feel that we're having a lot of fun here. They're having a lot of fun there. Just a reminder, if you want some extra fun with some extra AEW emotes, check out that sub button. They're 25% off until next Monday. You get 25% off your subs and gift subs as well. So